Yeah, but Super Saiyan chicos and chicas, how you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing pretty damn good. You can kind of tell I just woke up not that long ago. Anyway, so today we're gonna be doing some prediction. So I have some prediction for part 2 and 3 of Dragon Ball Legends, and you can just look at the screen; it's right there. I wrote it on a notepad, and I'm gonna go over it and explain why I think this. Anyway, so part 2 for DBL, I believe it's gonna be a dual banners of Dragon Ball Legends. I mean, a Dragon Ball Supers, and it's gonna be Future and Superhero. The reason why is like Raiden was mentioning that the developers at some point, when they were saying that this anniversary was gonna be super, they didn't mean that the anniversary was gonna be amazing super. Like, oh, this is the super anniversary. It meant like it was gonna be a Dragon Ball Super anniversary, which is how they started with Tournament Power, which is part of Super. Anyway, so I think that the only other sagas or arcs in Legends, I mean in Super, that really matters are the 2 movies and the Future arc and Tournament of Power. The Revival of Frieza, that was, no one really cared much. It was better in the movie, to be honest. Battle of Gods, same thing in my opinion. There's like no notable characters that you could get from those 2. Just Golden Frieza, Blue Goku, and Blue Vegeta. That's it. And then obviously Goku and Beerus for like the Battle of Gods. Like there's no really anything good there, to be honest, to get. Now, Future, you got Vegeta Blue, you got Rage Trunks, sort of Hope Trunk, you got Zamasu, you got Zamasu, you got Goku Black Rose, which is like the best one, to be honest. That's like the biggest character there. Anyway, now, not that long ago we saw Future, so this is why I think that in the future we're gonna get a Rage Trunks with a comeback mechanic. We saw some Rage Trunk. We have never really played with a real Rage Trunk, and I feel like it's gonna be a comeback mechanic where you start as Rage Trunk, and then you are, if you get beaten, then you come back as just Trunks, like Super Saiyan 2, and he has the sword. So you get beaten as Rage Trunk, or Trunks, then he does the whole little sword thing where he uses a key, and then he probably just comes in and slices the shit out of, just slice a few times. Similar to how Frieza did the kick, he slices the whoever you're fighting, and then now you have Trunks, and then he gets different attributes like bleed, for example, because now he's using the sword. Because in Rage Trunks form, if I'm not mistaken, he wasn't really using the sword. He was more enraged. Now, the little cool thing about this, which I feel like is a reuse of the mechanic, and it'll make it more cool because it'll be the LF. So you know how Ultra Beast has the Super Saiyan cannon? I mean Super Saiyan, the Special Beam cannon. Well, I feel like they should add it, or that they're gonna add it for this Trunks. You're only gonna be able to use it when you do the comeback. So when you get the second, the character comes back, so you get Super Saiyan 2 Trunks with the sword. That gauge will fill up. It'll probably just fill up real quick by you charging, attacking, because you taking hits wouldn't make sense because you're already on your second life. Usually these comeback mechanic characters are pretty squishy, right? Because they get 2 lives. And then the LF will be by using the gauge. He'll basically is like hitting them with an ult, but obviously it's a really strong ult, which will probably one-shot any modern character today. And then he do the whole, the Spirit Bomb and the Slash and all that. That's what I feel like it will be the LF unit in the banner, the main unit, the runner-up. And then you get Zamasu for the 1%. I feel like similar to the Blue Zamasu that we got a long time ago, that was such an amazing support. I feel like this would be the time to bring out a support unit, which would be Zamasu is the best support, to be honest, a modern one, and he will be able to be like the glue. He'll be like the Majin Ku of Future. That's just my opinion. I really think that's what they're gonna go for. Now we're gonna move to the second banner, Superhero. Now here, I think this is where the RAM will probably make sense, and will probably be like the biggest part of part 2. I feel like part 2 we're gonna see Cell Max. We're actually gonna see a Cell Max. Now, With this Cell Max, he's gonna be similar to how you know how CPUs get double bars, but not like when you get the purple bar that you have to defeat them and then they get the second life. No, no, no. That would be a little too much. Instead, they're gonna have like 2 bars, so they could probably do like, you know, just double green, and then on the bottom you'll see like the other, you know, one little tab of the green. When you get rid of that, then all you see either that tab disappears or just not so showing anymore. It will be just blacked out, and then you have the second bar. Now the drawback of using Cell Max will be that he takes up 2 slots, so you're losing some ability bonus and you're losing a vanish. Now, the good thing or the incentive to using this character is because, first of all, it's the coolest new character with a new mechanic, but he will just nullify rushes. Like, this character will nullify rushes. You can't rush him. You could blue card him, you could ult him, whatever, but you can't rush him. Why? You'd be like, why, Saito? That makes no sense. Like, if this character just nullifies rushes, you know, outright, then what does, you know, why? Well, first of all, you are, you know, you're losing out on advantage. Second, a lot of these rushes, especially if you're like down a character or 2, they do like 10 mil. This character will probably not have 10 mil unless you just max HP, max the whole, you know, the character like crazy. So, because it's gonna be double bar. So if the most common will be like 3 mil, for example, for a character, he's gonna have 6 mil. You know, probably 7, a little extra HP. So a rush will annihilate him. So then you down to 1 character, that wouldn't be fair. So I would say that this giant character and probably every giant character, you just can't rush, because you are losing a whole slot to have them. That's how I feel that they should do, unless they do like a transforming Tapion in the future, which is basically he becomes a giant character. But that's something for way in the future. Anyway, so that's what I think will be for Cell Max. It will be such a you know, big difference of a unit, and I feel like it wouldn't miss. It will be an amazing unit. It's like the only one of the only units we haven't seen because he's a giant. Well, there's others, but at least in the superhero movie, the 1% is gonna be oh, I misspelled Goten's own name. Well, regardless, Attack Switch, Goten, and Trunks. And they're gonna have the Synchro Gauge, so they're gonna bring back the Synchro Gauge, and they're gonna transform into Super Saiyan Gotenks, not into Fat Gotenks. I feel like they could do it. There's a lot of characters that are kind of like different, like the way how Frieza does the comeback, the way that some of these characters do some of their comeback and stuff like that. That is it 1-to-1 to how it was in the game. I mean, the anime. And sometimes they do different moves. I don't see why they can't introduce finally Super Saiyan Gotenks in superhero, because no one's gonna be summon for them if they transform to, you know, Fat Gotenks, unless he's incredible. But I feel like having him go into Super Saiyan Gotenks will be much better. Maybe even Super Saiyan 3, but I think it's pushing it. I'll say at least Super Saiyan Gotenks or Super Saiyan 2 Gotenks will be perfect. And that should be the 1%. It's Attack Switch, reusing some of the stuff. And then part 3, easy. Super Broly. Why? Well, that'll be one of the greatest like Ultra, because Broly is actually pretty popular. We already have an Ultra for the Dragon Ball Z Broly. He didn't do too well, unfortunately. But this is a more modern Broly. I feel like like an Ultra of, you know, his rage mode or whatever they want to call it. Broly will probably be the best Ultra. Not only that, he's movie saga, so we're gonna see part 2 with some movie saga, so it's gonna help out movie saga. Plus with Cell Max, he's powerful opponent, so you get 2 powerful opponents. So I just see it happening, in my opinion. So yeah, I will say that's pretty much it. Like, I would say, what do you guys think? I don't really see what mechanic they're gonna add to Broly. He's probably just gonna have endurance, most likely. He's gonna have I feel like they should add indestructible to him, because endurance seems to be like very conditional, and he's a premium character. So most likely they might reuse which kind of sucks because it's already like 4 or 5 characters who are indestructible. But he either might have indestructible or might not have nothing. But seeing how they gave, you know, UI and Vegeta evolved or whatever, the whole endurance off the bat, I feel like he might have indestructible, and he's just gonna have a gauge that as you hit or take damage, I feel like it should be both. He just gets stronger. It's the only thing, the best way to complement Broly. Like as he got hit and as he was hitting, he just kept getting stronger. So he kept learning throughout the battle. So I feel like that would be probably something good. Maybe he'll do something like, they'll do something different, like something a little new, like where when he fills his gauge, he gets, yeah, the 5 timer counts of cover no, but he also removes, like he could like penetrate endurance too in those 5 timer count. He also removes vanishes at least 3 times. I don't know, like you gotta make him a little OP. It's like the characters running around nowadays are pretty strong, especially Daima. You gotta make him more OP. Maybe he could like lock in someone when he fills the gauge, or at least 3 timer count. Yo, some good mechanic that will at least make this Broly seem like, you know, really good as an Ultra, that will be reusable for at least till Legend Fest. Something like that we might see, but these are the characters I feel like we're gonna see, and we'll find out probably in a week or 2 if I'm wrong or right. Anyway, I'm gonna make sure I upload this video today before part 2 gets announced, and then I'm late uploading it. But leave in the comment section what you guys think. I would like to hear your thoughts, and don't forget to join the Discord. We can always talk there too. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you guys. Super Saiyan Gang. We're out. Peace. Oh wait, and as always, good luck on your summons.